I mean, it's pretty simple. If you're not paying your own legal fees out of your own pocket, it's easy to employ a top legal team and to go from one appeal to another.
Absolutely. And we welcome this judgment. And I think what is important is that the judgment goes way beyond just the person of former President Zuma. It sends a very important message in general. And that is, if you are an office holder in government, the state will cover the costs incurred in your official capacity as an office holder, but you will be responsible for the costs incurred in your personal capacity. And this distinction has begun to get very blurred, and we're very glad that a court has now restated the principle in very clear terms.
Anton, how did we come to the decision in the first place that taxpayers' money would be used to foot a public servant's legal bill?
I think the assumption was made by people in government at that stage that it was a logical consequence of being in government, that whatever cost you have would be covered by government. And that's why I said we are very glad that the principle has now been restated very clearly, that government is not responsible for costs that you incur in your personal capacity.
Anton, I'm sure you've taken a look at the former president's legal team. What does that kind of caliber of legal team cost, let's say, per day, in your experience?
Cost per day, it's difficult to say. I mean, just to give the listeners and the viewers some kind of feeling, a senior counsel per day would be charging anything between 30 and 50,000 rand a day. And of course, with court appearances that stretch over many days of preparation, the senior counsel would have juniors, there would be attorneys' firms involved, so we're looking at a multiple of that per day.
Before we let you go, Anton, this is, of course, a precedent-setting case. Taxpayers will be very happy to know that going forward, criminal cases will no longer be at their cost.
Indeed, and I think it's not just as far as criminal cases are concerned, but just the principle that government is responsible for the exercise of official duties, and government is not responsible for whatever you may do in your personal capacity. I think that principle is, for me, the most important thing that comes out of the judgment today.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks very much for your time. Anton Twaldolson is from the Helen Suzman Foundation, joining us there via our Skype line.